Dear viewers, today as a part of inspirational journey or educational things, I got a chance to meet with Jayshree Mehta ji, and we are going to use English and Hindi couple of times together. The whole purpose of this video is for education, and any part of this video cannot be used for other purpose or cut and paste anywhere. So this is the legal declaration from our end, and we are going to use only for it educational purpose. In this video we want to know an inspirational journey of Jayshree Mehta ji and how she has uh, basically made her journey towards what excellence, and then there are a couple of things which you come to know through this video. So first of all, namaste.
नमस्ते मधुराज भाई.
आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि how was your journey and how you started from India, England, and well settled here, and what is a little bit about yourself.
Right. I think to start with, I would like to say that I'm really flattered and I feel very privileged that you've chosen me for your work regarding inspiration, etc.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I just feel that maybe I hope I do justification to what you're asking me and make the things worthwhile for you. As you know, I am of the Indian background. I'm a Gujarati. I'm a woman, 75 years old, born and brought up in India. My school education, college education, all was in India. So I graduated as a medical doctor and got married in 71 December as I finished my medical degree and came to England because so I followed him after getting married and worked here for a number of years, full-time work, part-time work and all that. Meanwhile, I had two children, daughter and a son. My daughter, she's 50 now. Son unfortunately passed away 19 years back at the age of 25. So most of my life has been very much dedicated to bringing up children because they both had multiple disabilities and I had to sort of give up medical work to look after them because there was a time when I felt that I can either be a good doctor or a good mother, and I had to choose to be a good mother. So that's where I am, and over the years, after leaving the medical work, I did get involved in some voluntary work over the years, and that's how I have been very privileged in a way to be able to do voluntary work, put something back in the community that I benefited so much. And that's where I am, as you know me now.
Yeah, I think nice to know about few things, but sad part about I'll say son part that is a little bit wherever he is, I pray for good and well-being. So coming over next thing, the best thing is to know about you are from Gujarat background because before Kali, our greatest god, Lord Shri Krishna, his Karam Bhumi was in Gujarat, and most famous Mahatma Gandhi. When I visited Gujarat, I went there in his ashram, and that is a lot of inspirational things. So during this time, I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Few things, if you want to skip, feel free to skip. And as we mentioned, the whole motto is for educating the coming generations.
Right.
Okay. So in summary, what are your message to the next generation. So it is more about when you in your life somewhere you face some challenges as you grown up, we feel lots of happiness, shocked and different ways, and sometimes children are not able to cope up with those things. They don't talk to parents, they don't talk to friends, going in isolation, different type of things are coming. So how did you overcome certain situations, and in your own words how you want to share that with the upcoming generations, that what are the few challenges which they can feel and how to overcome those challenges.
I think the challenges come in all sorts of shapes and forms. Anything that can start from your own personal limitations, how you feel about yourself, how you think what you can do, what you can't do, or maybe you feel that you fail in something, you succeed in something. Um, there is also the limitations or challenges that come in a way when the family puts on you that as say for example as a girl you could in India especially growing up at that time you can do certain things, you can't do certain things, then the society has certain restrictions on you as to what you can do, what you can't do. What uh, in a way, I was fortunate that my father and my mother and families, they have never restricted me massively in a way what I could do or what I can where I can go, who I can mix with. So I was educated in the mixed school and had the friends, the boys, girls. They used to come home and family knew as to who they are and who I'm going out with, and it was a very very free kind of household. And you know how in India some doors are open, people just come and go, and they can. So that was one thing. Although when you talk about challenges in different, there are different kind of challenges they come to you, and you when you are in say in when you're growing up in a school and you have people more clever than you and you feel at times you can't do certain things, and they are much more better, and you begin to feel a little bit inferior about yourself or lower about yourself. But again, I'm very fortunate because my family always said there is in life you will not be able to do everything. You can try, opportunities are there, you can do whatever you want to do, you can try, but you may not be able to do everything. For example, you can be good at maths, but you cannot be able to do the drawing. You can be athlete, but you cannot be a scientist, or so those sort of issues. So you have to decide what you are good at, what you can do best. So that's how I learned in my life that you are not going to be succeeding in every single thing that you do, but whatever you can, whatever you like, whatever you think you are good at, you do your best in that one. And that's how you come you progress yourself, you make yourself better. That's how. And the youngsters today, I would say to them, grab your life by two hands. Explore every opportunity that you have. Explore the things that are in front of you, and then pick what is right for you. It doesn't, if you fail at something, doesn't mean that's a failure in life. It's just a stepping stone to go further, do something else, or try again and succeed, because that will happen. Even the Edison who invented light, how many times he failed. But the question when he was asked, what did you feel about failure? And he said he never failed. He was just trying to find the answer to what he was looking for. And this is how we all need to live our life. Because that's the only way you can do better in your life.
Very nice. So very nice. Just consolidating few points in terms of management. We also taught during couple of things. One is keep on experimenting, as Jayshree mentioned. Keep on experimenting, and you may pass or fail, but you do your job. Another thing is there are social barriers and communication barriers, but there are someone who are going to help you to do those barriers and coming out of that dilemma. So whenever you are in dilemma, probably you can reach out to your family, friends, but reliable. Okay. So in family and friends, reach out to someone reliable. I still remember interviewing Martha. Martha is one of my colleague,
Right.
and she established Binom Architect in London. So she is an entrepreneur. Her interview is on my channel. So I interviewed her during COVID. So it was on Zoom, and couple of things she blended very nice. So that's how things comes. And then during COVID, I released a stay at home
Right.
campaign in 8 languages.
Oh,
So
wow.
those languages are not our only Indian language, but like German, then
Right.
Arabian, then English, so that people can follow and
Right,
do that.
right.
So those things.
Wow.
But you are going very well.
Wow.
Thank you so much. So you can start next part. So next is coming to strength as a woman. Okay, we see I was born, brought up in India, completed education, then I moved to Mexico couple of years, and then came to UK. What I realized, India is still not using full power of women. So for example, in India, if almost all the states of India I have traveled, almost when I'm saying, so not like mainstream mainland I have traveled. So there I see few professions is still lacking in terms of women power. So for example, bus driver, car driver. When I landed in England, I see it is very common that women are driving buses, women are driving car. And now even women are a lot of time they are doing the job of pilot as well. So they are coming, and they are coming out with lot of things. And a big ancient story of Ramayana said that Ravana always recruit women for the security guard job. That's what Lankini was there, Supraka was there, even they were demons, but he was relying on women for even guard and parenting, guarding, all those things. So you are being a woman. What is your message on strength as a woman, which men doesn't have, but women have that strength? What do you think are the unique strength as a woman bring to various positions, and how do you leverage those strengths on your own? So when you worked, you have a long working life, you contributed in different roles, I know, in public and professional life both, and volunteering work as well. So how being a woman is a strength, and how even recruiters and professionals, why they should give more offers to women, and inspire them in their good journey of professional and strengthening.
Yeah, I think you raised a lot of points here, so I'm going to go slowly one by one as I
Yeah.
remember how you raised them. So in India, you said you only realized when you came here that a car driver, a bus driver, etc.
I realize after
But I grown up in India. I was born and brought up in Mumbai, and I can tell you that women have done so many roles. Even police officers. Even when I've been child, I know police. There were police officers in India, women police officers. There, and if you look at it, the right at the top position, India was the first country to have a woman prime minister, right? So that, but and women have been in the Supreme Courts, and they've been judges, and they've been in top position almost. It's quite normal in India. But when you think about the population of India and percentage of women who really come to that position, probably that doesn't really show that
Sure.
yeah, and it may be that women, a large number of women, big number of women are still right at the bottom, especially in India. It's not just India, that's a male dominant country. I think it's all
Yeah,
over the world.
Yeah.
So there are ways that way the women's lives are, and I was just talking about the strengths. The strengths women have, the skill, a person who can give a birth to a child, bring up a child, and maintain the house, budget the household things, and do everything. That is the skill you need in every other areas of your life.
Yeah.
So women are quite well equipped, to be honest, to manage a lot of other work areas. The so instead of strength, can I just say a little bit why women probably lack that kind of or don't have the opportunity to go further equivalent to men in every area?
Yeah.
Because women, biologically, women are the carers. So you produce the children, you bring up the children, and those are the times women cannot give their full to the society.
Yeah.
Women can't give full to, they can't be doing work and bring up children, or at least until recently that was very common concept that women can't have it.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the promotion, etc., women probably have lost those number of years of putting in the work.
Good
and
point,
that's
yeah.
why maybe the promotion, men have gone ahead in a similar area, at the time scale. And that probably is the reason why women still lag behind the men in reaching certain heights of the positions. But when you think about the scale, I don't think there is any area which women can't do what men can do, or men assume that they can do. That's the thing. So women can be a top scientist, women can be a judge, women can be a top surgeon. There is nothing that stops them. And gender doesn't particularly have any intelligence kind of comparison. What can have probably the same.
Yeah, I think there is no difference between gender in terms of intelligence, but it may be a little bit biased. I'm a male, but still I have heard in couple of research that the sixth sense power of women is better than men. So they can, couple of intellectual things, they can take better decision than men. And I can provide some references on this in this link that people can read also. But you have raised very nice point that which we also discuss in economics and macroeconomics, that there is a pay gap for women.
Yes.
And there are pay gap based on color also. So when you come for women and men on the same designation, same role, same responsibility, the wages are less for women than men, and there are 2 to 3% gap globally.
Yes.
That data I am giving based on my knowledge, and I'll pass the reference. But you have mentioned very nice point that when women giving birth, they are going to the carer role, and that put them little bit 2 to 3 years less in terms of experience.
Yes.
But I think now companies are coming quite good solutions on that, and that is keep on working. But it's very nice message coming out how. And also one nice point I would like to raise during the birth of my daughter, because my son is the elder one. I read somewhere that when a mother gives birth to a child, it's almost the pain is equivalent to 2067 or whatever bones in of my body. I don't know exact count, but it is equivalent to breaking all the bones, and that mothers are taking this. It's a quite interesting. I think thanks for that. Can we move to next question? Okay. So very well done and very nicely experienced, and I think audiences you are going to give take very nice message from it.
Can I just go back to this strength issue?
Yeah.
I think probably the physical strength, that probably is a different between men and women, and that probably has been taken upon the world in general, that men are stronger than women. Yes, physically, obviously, they're probably, that's how the biologically, that's how the nature has made us, so that may be true. But that doesn't really make men better than women in every other respect. That's the way comparisons are made.
Yeah.
And that also is putting the women behind. That as if the women are second best to men.
Okay.
Compared to just on the physical strength kind of thing. So that,
So you mean to say there should not be comparison must?
No,
Both are
no,
individual. Yeah.
no, because as in the skills to do the things,
Yeah.
women can do
Exactly.
with most of the things, and when it requires the kind of mental skills and other skills and management skills and all that, women can be just as good as men. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay. Good point, I think. Next is coming empowering other women. Okay, so I'll take some point with example to make my question clear. In India, there was very famous serial Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. Okay, so it is talking about when you talk about a girl when she is coming to the home of someone's as a daughter-in-law, or I'll say bahu in Hindi. Saas expect that she is going to be perfect in one day. Okay, this is a common topic.
Yes.
Now, when we join a job as an interns, what I feel when I started my job as a software engineer, I was not that perfect which I am today.
Right.
After having job of 15 or 18 years
Yes.
old. So I think there are some expectations gap in that time, that when somebody is coming to your home, she is leaving her home, coming to your, all of a sudden she is not going to be very efficient, very good in one day. It is going to take. But when this is not happening, it is start to have a little bit conflict. Okay, which lot of serials drama also based on. Other thing is which there are a couple of initiatives which in Indian government is taking and UK government is taking. They are giving loans to the women initiated entrepreneurship. They are giving some benefits to the women entrepreneurship, and couple of girls are making their own group in which they are supporting young girls to do the thing. So overall my point is how women can support better to women in strength, and convincing these women who are unnecessarily putting pressure, social pressure to their newly daughter-in-law and all these things. So what is your view on this, how we can shape up the community and society in a better way, so that these little bit problems we can tackle in?
I think you can, the issue you raised is very important. I probably in Indian culture and social norm probably is more important, and I'm sure it's probably in other part of the world as well. So this SARS becoming both that kind of a stuff. We society just expects the woman when she gets married, and she basically has to abandon her birth family and adopt the new family, and think just from the day one as if all her relationships and all these skills, all the things she's going to contribute in that family will come from day one. And you're right, I don't think we should expect from anyone. We all learn with the age, with the experience, how we can do something different, something better. I think the best thing is to start educating the girls from very young age.
Yeah.
That to respect. And I would also, something I needed to say that although the girls when they're born, we call them Lakshmi,
Yeah.
actually they are still looked upon as a burden in the Indian culture. And boy would be given more priority and more preference about everything, and the girls may not be getting same privileges as the boy in the family. So girl is always second best to the father, to the brother, to the husband, to son. This is quite a known thing. Well, it used to be. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if it's still like that. Things are changing and all that.
Things are changing, but not so rapidly, because we need to work. That's why
Yeah,
we are.
yeah. No, I think the education to men and women both, to respect
Each other.
everybody equally.
Yeah. Equally.
So something I would say, how we can do that in just a smaller example. You teach girl, oh, you are a girl, so you start cooking from the age of 5 or 6, and you don't think a boy needs to know.
Need to cook. Yeah.
Boy, you just start teaching them about the money, about the business things and all that. No, I would say to you, we should educate the parents to say, teach the girl about money and business as much as cooking.
Yeah.
And teach the boy cooking as well as the money and business. You need to have all the basic skills of everything. So for example, the girl in her life, if ever something negative happens, her husband passes away or she has to manage her life herself, at least she doesn't get lost that how can I do this now?
Yeah.
She should be able to manage the money, she should be able to manage her home, she needs to know how to go to the bank, she needs to know how to deal with the pay the rent or pay the mortgage or pay, in general, your basic lifestyle, girl and boy should know, both should know. So if a boy or a man is left on his own, a wife has passed away, there is nobody else in the family, and suddenly, oh, I can't cook now, I can't even make a cup of tea or something. Well, for heaven's sake, these are the basic skills parents should teach both the children, both genders.
Yeah.
And that, I think I can't stress enough how important these things are.
Very well point. So grow them equally, try to interchange skills, make them self-dependent. It means, like, if it is very well mentioned by you, nowadays boys are living in hostels, sometimes they are living alone, so we don't know what will happen in our life when we married, but we don't know who will die first. Anyone can die first in couple. Okay, sometime in COVID, I see many people in their early 30s, they have died. So it is a challenge for both boys and girls. So I think we should treat them equally. Next is probably I'll take next question on support. How, like, government or communities should support more by forming or doing the things which are in favor of girls, and then giving them a little bit more uplifting in terms of coming in common race. Do you see any things or policies which can help?
I think the state.
So my next question is about support. How we can make a better community and provide some government policies or public policies and a social support to girls, so that they can come more naturally and then feel not very competitive or competitive with the boys, but they can come natural with their maximum potential and contribute to the economy and community.
I think the first thing to get rid of is a stereotyping image that we have of both the genders.
Yeah.
And maybe government can do something as well, but we just need to change the social concept that we have, that we put girls in a box of only these things girls can do and only these things boys can do, and there is no overlapping, or there is no sort of gender mobility in terms of what you can do, what you can't do. So if education cannot change that, then education is not worthwhile. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And education is the thing that can change how we see the world, how we see the people contributing or people doing, or girls, boys, men, women, how they can do that. That's very important.
Yeah.
So when the girls at the time of leaving the school, the careers that the girls and boys have to choose I think there may be that probably is the biggest uh, or the most important time that careers advisors and people who are in charge can guide the youngsters
Yeah.
in choosing what is right for them rather than what is right for being a gender.
Yeah.
And the skill wise, that's more important. And do not stop. If a girl wants to, like you were saying, taxi driver, girl being somewhere, she wants to be a pilot or something, don't stop them.
let
She
them
wants
go.
to join the
Yeah.
army, she wants to join the police, don't stop them, because
Let
that's just as important for a girl as it is for a boy.
Yeah.
And if a boy wants to go in the cooking or something or housekeeping or something, don't stop them, because if that's their skills are lying in that one, that's where they will excel.
Yeah.
By forcing the children to do something because that's what again, parents also,
Yeah.
especially in Indian community, Indian culture, you want your girls and boys to be doctors, engineers, lawyers, you cannot be a kind of a plumber, for
Yeah.
example. You can't be bricklayer. Why
Yeah.
not? Because all these things, they are important, and whatever you can do, that's something we should promote. Let
Yeah.
child develop his own or her own skills.
Yeah. A very nice point, and I think very well there when Rishi Sunak took oath as a Prime Minister of England, there are many jokes going on social media that every second parent started to train their children to be next
Prime
Rishi Sunak
Minister.
and next Prime Minister. So I think as a parents, you mentioned very well point for parents. We shouldn't put lot of pressure on our children for what we couldn't do. We want our children to do. Let
Yes,
them live
yes,
their own life.
yes.
I think very nice. I'll say the way I asked you so many questions for supporting women and supporting individuals, you have worked on couple of your local projects, either on charities or volunteer work, and you headed many roles. I know this is the reason today I'm here. Would you like to highlight any your projects or which you can share with us?
I think, as you know, I've been running Sangam for more than 25 years now.
Yeah.
And it's a small group of women. We get together regularly,
Yeah.
and share our experiences, share our lifestyles, and share our skills. We laugh, jokes, all sorts of things happen. But the most important thing is, with all these things that we do, we try and empower the women in what they do and how they live their lives. So the example that I'll give you was one day I went to drop my friend off to her house.
Yeah.
And husband didn't know that I was in the toilet or something, and he was going Sangam, you all the time you do that and all that. I came out of the toilet and I said, I heard that, So, so then he said, before my wife joined Sangam, she never used to argue with me, but now she always argues with me.
More enabled.
So I said, do you know what? I think Sangam is working.
Yeah.
Because now I'm making a woman more confident to challenge something that she doesn't like or she doesn't agree with. She doesn't have to just go with whatever you say, for example.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, you should be able to say something. If you don't agree with something, you should be able to say. By not agreeing with someone doesn't mean that you don't like someone, or it doesn't mean you don't respect the other person. It's just that we have different opinions, we have different things to say. But women in Sangam, they really have, come a long way from where we have been and all that. And we address all kind of issues in our group as well, including whether it's domestic violence or whether it's something that they face in personal life. We are not about breaking up marriages. We are not about breaking up lives. What we are there is to support women when they have certain issues, we can signpost them where they can get help
Yeah.
or what they can do better. But at the end of the day, just because you are a woman doesn't mean you can't laugh. Just because you are a woman doesn't mean you can't enjoy your life. So we do go out. Sometimes we meet in the evening when their family is fed and watered. Women are much freer to come. So we meet around once a month, around 7:30, 8:00. And if a woman goes home before 11:30 or 12, husbands will ask, "Is there something wrong? Why you come early?"
Exactly.
They're all used to it. That women will have a good time when we meet and all that, and they will be home late. That's quite acceptable now. And this is something that's changed. You know how the things are. What you couldn't go out after certain times, you can't go out on your own. No, actually, a lot of husbands they tell their wives do go there
Exactly.
and meet other women, learn something, and have new experiences. So that's something, I'm quite proud of what I'm doing for Sangam.
Very nice. I think this is things which we should be proud of, and we as a community do it and drive it.
Yes.
Even sometime when I discuss few things, I scold my child, my son who is elder and 11 years. When I ask him whether I did something to you, don't suppress your voice. I'm not going to
Yes.
suppress your voice, but do argument with you, with me, whether you are correct or not, and whether you realize your mistake or not. If I am wrong, just tell me, father, you are wrong. Because if I am wrong in front of you, you are never going to take right decision.
Yes.
So until unless it is not sticking someone's mind that they are right or wrong, they will always repeat the thing. And if somebody is correct, you cannot suppress their voice by your more loud voice and all these things. So I think I already aware with so many projects started from you, wonderfully flourishing in Peterborough, and definitely those are the things I'm starting. And I think couple of this type of projects are coming. And the way you mentioned connecting, it is very important because many people don't know how to connect. They are losing patient due to cancer. They think cancer is, once cancer happened, there is no advice, no money. Cancer will take a lot of money, but there are charities, there are global organizations which are helping people like Macmillan Cancer and all these things. Similarly, cervical cancer is coming a lot of. So we need more than like expertise. It's more about connections, making people and letting them know. I still remember when I was in going for my educational certificate, the name of my parents' spelling was different. So my father's name is Shiv Bhagwan, and somewhere H was missed. So one place in his one ID it was Shiv Bhagwan, in one ID it was Shiv Bhagwan, and my university objected on that. I was going here and there. One of my classmates' grandfather, he was well-known lawyer. So he immediately, why are you going here and that? Give me a pen and paper. I will write a notary affidavit for you. He was a notary lawyer, and that will solve your problem. I have given it to university, problem solved.
Yeah.
This is how our connection and community helps. So I think wonderful with your Sangam and journey.
But a little bit longer, I can just a couple of things. You're talking about making connections. So in Sangam we did number of projects, but the best one we did probably was I think it was in 2011. It's quite some time back now. We did a project called A Taste of Peterborough.
Okay.
So we invited all the communities in Peterborough, for example, whichever countries they are from, to cook the national dish, submit their recipes.
Okay.
And then we had demonstrations throughout the year, about half a dozen demonstrations, including in the Cathedral Square, couple of schools, couple of community halls, and so we invited the people from different communities to demonstrate their dishes. And we had a book, printed the book. Taste of Peterborough. So I'll give you the book. I got it somewhere in the garage, so I'll give you that. But what what again we did was something that it was useful for domestic violence, because people don't understand. Our community doesn't want to talk about domestic violence. It's a big taboo.
Yeah.
They all think everything, this is quite normal for husband to beat up wife or abuse the wife. You know, it's something, it's not to be challenged and all that.
Yeah.
And of course it has to be challenged. Violence is a violence in any
Violence is
culture,
a
right?
violence in any form.
So what happens that in those sort of families, in those sort of situations, sometimes men would remove those yellow pages of emergency numbers from the telephone book. I know now with mobiles and things are very different, but I'm talking about a little bit while back.
Yeah.
So on each page of the recipe at the bottom we printed those emergency numbers.
Yeah.
Now ordinary recipe book lying in the kitchen probably is not a threat to an abuser.
Yeah.
But woman can still have at any time she felt that she could contact, and including for men as well. Men get abused and they suffer violence as well. So it works both ways. So we had those sort of things done. So projects done to bring the community together and to help community as well. So Sangam, we have done, this is just an example, but throughout our 25, 26 years, we have involved the rest of the communities as much as we can.
I think that's a wonderful project, and Sangam definitely wonderful.
Long live Sangam.
Yeah, long live Sangam. And there is a very famous song in Hindi, Ganga Jamuna Saraswati प्यार का पैगाम है, जहाँ पे तीनों मिल जाए वहीं का संगम नाम है, Ganga Jamuna Saraswati. There are many Ganga Jamuna Saraswati in this sangam.
That's what we all women are. We all are rivers from different parts of the India, and we are all together, and that's where we are making the meeting point there.
Very nice. Keep on flourishing and keep
confluence,
on
we call it. Sangam.
Confluence, yeah. And then thank you so much.
Confluence
is a very nice technical tool also. So
yeah,
confluence
is it? Yeah.
So we will proceed to the next question, and that's how we will go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have very diversified experience in terms of India and the experience in terms of England life. And I think you have seen a quite good life here and there both way. Sometime when I go and hear some interviews from like Bollywood actresses, they say that when shooting happened in early 90s and 80s, there was not vanity van, no luxurious things like nowadays Bollywood stars are enjoying. So how do you think your experience when you started early in terms of professional life, and then nowadays you go and meet with your daughters or some other coming friends and people in day-to-day job, how do you think things are changed in this time, and how life is shaping up for everyone? So it's not like only girls oriented, but overall how do you think like technology evolution is making our life easy? So what is your experience?
I think the first thing you talked about Bollywood actresses and all that. In terms of the films, whether it was Hollywood or Bollywood or something, those films were they're depicting the times of that particular or what was the trend of the times at that time.
Yeah.
That's what they were reflecting.
Yeah.
So if you saw the films of 60s and 70s or 80s, and what you see the films now, they're so different in a lot of ways. For example, I mean, some of the films of 60s, 70s would be like girl falls in love with a boy and parents won't allow them to get married. Devdas, for example.
Yes, yeah.
Now, in today's society, how many parents will actually stop their children marrying somebody of their own choice? That if they see if the partner is right, family is right, I don't think they're going to oppose. Because it's the caste is different, or because their language is different, or whether the religion is different. I think most parents are quite liberal
now,
and they will allow.
Yeah.
For example, my daughter's got she got married to an English guy, and to me, the guy was right for her. He was nice, kind, and
Yeah,
that's all you want.
exactly.
Sometimes we choose the partners for our children, and they end up with the most miserable marriage and all that. And I mean, don't, I think those sort of things probably are dying down. So when I came, so growing up in India was quite different. And now when I go back to India, I just see the India is totally different actually. Um, I see my young nieces and nephews and all that. Their lifestyle is very similar to what I can compare the lifestyle of young people in this country.
Yeah.
I don't think they're much different in terms of where they can go to eat, where they can drink, or where they can go to nightclubs, where they can go to various programs and things, or to me,
Yeah.
youngsters have just as much freedom in India as they have here. I don't think there is any difference. The things have changed, things have moved on, and something for better, something not for that good, but things have moved on.
Yeah.
I think in India especially, and we move on, we adjust to the changes that come along.
Yeah.
You're talking about digital stuff.
Yeah.
So Hinduism or our culture hasn't stopped us adopting the digital advancement,
Digital
etc.
advancement, yeah.
At the same time, we keep our basic values in life. We still have managed to keep that.
Yeah.
But how we maintain those basic values, that probably has changed.
Yeah.
And to me, digital stuff or various modes of transport, etc., cars, trains, planes, and things, or whatever things are changing now. Maybe driverless cars or electric car. To me, I think we have managed pretty well to take everything in our stride and still live our life. So, for example, I'll give you how balanced when I came to this country as well. So I used to see youngsters and all that. So the youngsters will go to the nightclub with their friends as well. Next day there is a Janmashtami or something in the mandir, they'll come and worship in the mandir as well. So they had such a balance of life.
Yeah.
And if you personally, I think I feel that I have advantage of both the worlds. So and the freedom within the laws of the countries that you live in.
That is, I think, much required also.
So, for example, I can wear what I like, I can eat what I like, I can worship what I like, I can do what
Exactly.
I mean, there is no restriction, is there?
Individual level, liberty of level there.
So yeah, so I can wear a sari or salwar kameez, I can wear
Exactly.
trousers, when I go on holidays, I wear shorts, I can wear swimwear. Nobody says to me that you can't do that.
Yeah.
I have a freedom, I have a choice. And having a choice is very important in life.
Very important, yeah. So I think very nice message. I left with 2 questions.
Right.
With time permits, because I'm giving a lot of pain to you. But sorry for that. So I have 2 questions, and one your life experience which I want to go with, because recently I put on your one comments to you that you are one of my ideal I'm going to follow. You completed a lot of journey.
You're flattering me a
Yeah,
lot.
no. You completed journey on Panama Canal and all these worldwide tour. Very inspiring. But before that, I have 2 questions quickly. One is very short. In your life overall, have you ever felt not going any if you have any non-disclosure agreement or something like that has been one, any general thing when you feel at work, being a girl, there is any discrimination, or you have felt that you were treated differently than a person? I keep on discussing a lot of inclusion and diversity related topic as well, and I'm trying to work inclusion, diversity, advocacy couple of in my roles. I work there and I'm happy to discuss. But considering very public opinion and hiding all the situations, have you ever faced any discrimination due to being girl in workplace or any general life?
I think the discrimination of being a girl, obviously because of the social structure that used to be there anyway, so that, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes you get told as a girl what you can do, what you can't do, etc.
Day-to-day life.
Day-to-day life,
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have to look at the social structure. So in this country especially, so the white male is at the top, then the white female, then the colored man, then the colored woman.
Yeah.
So someone like me probably is right at the bottom of the rung of the
Yeah.
ladder. So yes, you do. Discrimination is the norm of the life. I'm not saying it's good, but it's norm of the life.
Yeah.
So in India, you were discriminated. Either you came from Mumbai or came from Ahmedabad or came from Delhi or something.
Yeah.
Those sort of things were happening as well. So
Yeah.
where you are from. The discrimination in life can be on a financial ground, so rich, poor,
Yeah.
status,
Exactly.
where you are
Yeah.
Lord, King, Queen,
Yeah.
or you're ordinary person,
Ordinary
whether
person.
you're doctor, the educational discrimination,
Yeah.
whether you're doctor, whether you're road sweeper,
Yeah.
whether you're literate, whether you're illiterate. So discrimination can come in a lot of
Different ways.
it can come for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
What I think what we need to really change is discrimination for something that is not in your control. So where I'm born, what color I'm born, that's not something I could choose.
Control, yeah.
And that should not be discriminated against.
Yeah.
If somebody is disabled, if somebody has some particular illness or something, that's not something they can choose. So that should not be discriminated against.
Yeah.
But the social tiers are going to be there. I think you're always going to have somebody richer than you, somebody poorer than you, somebody cleverer than you, somebody not as clever as you. So we need to accept certain kind of certain levels of social structure. I think we need to adjust to that. We need to accept that.
Yeah.
That's going to be there. I don't think you can eliminate that completely.
Cannot eliminate.
It's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that if I'm different than you, doesn't mean that I'm lower than you.
Exactly.
That respect has to be there for everybody.
Yeah.
So respect I can give it to the pujari in the mandir is the same as the respect I'll give it to the person who comes and cleans the mandir, for example.
Exactly. Yeah. That is how.
That's something we need to keep.
Yeah.
It's only when you slip on that one,
yeah.
that discrimination, then it becomes something that we all need to address. We all need to stop that kind of a thing that's happening in the society, because nobody should feel inferior because of who they are.
Yeah.
That has to be absolutely there. And opportunities, when we talk about equal opportunity, it's not equal for everybody in that way. It's equal for what you need.
Yeah.
That's equal opportunity. So we're talking about how girls can be promoted, how they can be done. So that's the equal opportunity. That's what you need to do. Here, how disabled people can be educated, how they can be employed in various industries, in various workplaces, that is something important. Those sort of things that we need to address.
Yeah, I think with the evolution, people are realizing, because what I see, my mother is a school principal in a government school in India. So earlier when I used to go at her school in village, there are stairs, and there was nobody was taking about the ramp for disabled and wheelchair accessible. So now government has given order in every school, but unnecessary putting ramps. I was saying unnecessary because as a child when I was going there, I was saying government is putting money in waste, because I don't see any advantage of that. But later when I was grown up, I realized that government is doing something to enable the disabled, or making a more inclusive environment. So few questions comes in our mind, and we get answers when we'll grow up. Coming to your point about discrimination, when I was in engineering, BTech first year, there were two types of seats. One is free seats. The fees of free seats were 19,000 INR, and the payment of free paid seat was 70,000.
Yeah.
So some people start to say in class, students in my class, he came from paid seat, he is not intelligent. Then I mentioned, if he came from paid seat, his parents has paid more money than your parents.
Yes.
So it is equaling weightage one
Yes.
or other way.
Yes.
So everyone who is in the class, you should treat them as a
Yes.
equal respect, because
Yes.
they are equivalent sitting to you.
Yes.
So either means there are few things we cannot balance, but it has different ways of doing. Very well explained. I'll say quickly last two things. One is, what, in your own words, whatever advice you want to give to the coming generations, young girls, women who are coming and starting their journey to be successful. Whatever you want to give advice in last, in one or two sentences, you can give your common advice. And my advice is always, as a professional, that is, start your job or whatever you are starting with humbleness, politeness, and be flexible. Follow your seniors. So those are my general advice, but you can add from experience.
Are you talking about advice just particular to girls or in general?
Yeah, so I'll say for girls and women who are starting and listening to us. Yeah.
I, from my own experience, I would just say to girls that never ever feel that you are restricted because who you are, and don't let anyone restrict you either.
Yeah.
You have to have that confidence that you can overcome that kind of boundaries that people put in front of you, and it can be done quite nicely, because you need to have that confidence. You need to know yourself. You need to know what you want in life and how you're going to achieve.
Yeah.
And carry on. So don't let hurdles put you. You just have to keep going over the hurdles.
Yeah.
Until you reach your destination. And sometimes destination is important, but sometimes the journey is important as well. So while you're trying to reach the destination, enjoy your journey, enjoy the life.
Yeah.
Don't get so obsessed about something that you cannot enjoy rest of life.
Exactly.
And I think it's very important that whatever you do, life has to have some fun, life has to have some enjoyment. It's not all work.
Exactly.
Have a balance of fun and work.
Right.
Fun, family, work, everything, you have balance it out and make most of it. That's all I can say.
Very nice message. So one of my professors said, हम तो नदियाँ हैं, हम अपना हुनर जानते हैं, हम जिधर भी जाएंगे किनारा बन जाएगा. So as a river, you know how to flow. There are sometimes obstacles will come. Few people will try to flow you in different direction, but you keep your destination in mind. And happiness, sad, sorrow, everything is part of our journey, and follow that. So those are my questions which I wanted to ask from you. Just to complete our things, there is a very famous writer in Hindi I learned. He wrote an article, Athato Ghumakkar Jigyasa. It means when people are traveling, they have lot of curiosity. Kabir Das is a famous writer and poet. He always put, he didn't educate by any books or anything. He just learned everything by moving here and there. When I first landed in Mexico, I never expected people don't know left and right. When I was saying to my taxi driver, go left, go right, he was not understanding, because he know Ishikirda and Derecha. Okay. Recently you have done very big tour on all the ways, air, land and water. So any learnings from traveling you want to share? Something for what you explored, a curiosity or things which you learned from your traveling journey? And that would be the end of our today's interaction.
I love traveling. I have traveled quite considerably, not as much as some of my other friends have done, but I've done quite well.
Yeah.
And I'm quite fortunate to be able to do that. The most important thing when you go to different countries is to learn about different people. The more you learn about different people, learn about their lifestyle, learn about their way of doing things, what they believe in, you begin to understand the world the way it is, and you begin to respect people for who they are. So language you're talking about in Mexico, they didn't know left and right.
Yeah.
Why should they know left and right?
Exactly.
That's your language. It's not their language, right?
That's what my
So,
myth.
yeah, but
Because
the
I
whole
first
thing
time
is,
went from India.
no, the whole
Yeah.
thing is we all are expecting that everybody should know our language, and English seems to be the worst culprit, that we all think that everybody should know English.
English, yes. Yeah.
Why? Why should they know? Why? I think, I mean, obviously we can't learn words, every single language. But if I'm going to a particular country, I will learn the basic phrases and words.
Yeah.
So if we have to say good morning, good evening, goodbye, thank you, sorry, those little things, you should know the local language when you go to that country.
Yeah.
It makes them feel at least you're trying to be, trying to respect them for who they are.
Yeah.
Instead of you expect them to do everything the way you are.
Yeah.
When you go to different country, try their food, for example.
Yeah.
Why do you want to eat curry and rice all the time? Why?
Good point. No, I do. I try.
I'm not saying just you, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
Exactly, yeah.
They just, when they go to different holidays, they hire these cooks from India, they travel with them and they cook Indian food 3 times a day and all that.
And it's costly also. Because it's abroad
not
food
just
or
costly,
foreign
but
food.
you haven't even tried something before you start saying, oh, you don't like something.
Yeah.
Try. At least you can give it a go. If you don't like, that's fine. Nobody's going to force you or anything. But by not trying, so when people come to India, we expect everybody loves your curry and rice.
Yeah.
So why do you, if you go to another country, why do you not want to try something else?
Exactly.
I would say, say go to Italy. Can you not eat pasta and things? Eat pastas, eat pizzas,
Exactly.
Nothing wrong in that, is there?
Yeah. No.
I mean...
That's how curiosity built and we learn.
No, I think everything, when I go to Greece, I would try something like, their, I'm trying to think the words now. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm forgetting now.
No problem. Meanwhile, some dishes from Mexico, I tried enchiladas, burritos.
Yeah, exactly.
And similar things. And then you would be great to hear that when I was there after 1 year, I realized that it is not easy to survive. So I started learning Spanish. But what I'm trying to showcase here, first time as a traveler, international traveler, when I went from India to another country, I was expecting like at airport everyone will speak English. So when we travel, there are so many myths which busted up and curiosity built up. So I have learned so much things by following your traveling journey.
I mean, I'm just as guilty. When I travel, I still try and speak in English and look for guides that's English speaking as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I said, you need to respect the local people for what they are and what they expect. So in certain countries, for example, if there are certain things that you do, you don't do, those sort of things you need to observe. Yeah. It's not something, oh, I'm going to go and do something, even if they don't like, no. It's their country, you are in their country as a guest, you've got, enjoying your holidays, and if there are certain rules, certain things you don't do, no, you don't have to do it, you know, so, but everywhere I've traveled, I have learned something new every single time. Every single place you go, you learn something. And you're talking about going to South America recently. So going to Ecuador and learning about the skill about making Panama hats. Now Panama hats is a misnomer.
Okay.
It's not actually Panama hats, it's the Ecuadorian hat.
Okay.
That's where the hats are being made and all that. Everything made by hand. You know, these women, men, they do things, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And wherever you go, they're so proud to show off their skill and all that.
Yeah.
And you have to only admire that, what they do and all that. So everywhere, I think it doesn't matter where you go, people are people. They're good people, they're bad people, but on the whole, it's you try and make them part of your journey in your life.
Exactly. So I think with this, I'm very thankful along with my family. Bhavna recorded this for us, and thanks for all your time and giving this time not only for me but for sharing your journey with so many people who are going to see this if all good after your review and due permissions. Many girls are going to watch this video in classroom and they are going to learn a few things from it and few curiosity questions will be solved. So thank you so much for sharing all
Well,
your
thank you for
journey.
giving me an opportunity. I hope I made it worthwhile. I hope I made some points that might be worthy of something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But thank you for choosing me to say something about my life or what I am and all that. So thank you.
Thank you, audiences, and
Thank
our
you.
instructors who are playing these videos in classes. Please explain in your regional language so that children can understand. And when this will be available to you, it will be fully approved. Till that time, it will not be available. But please try to make out of it. And if you think something similar, you need more subject oriented. We always try to share very well crafted observed journey from individuals, and this is the journey of our Jayshree Mehta ji, and I have put some references and which you can follow for other useful study material there in the descriptions. Thank you for watching.